What do you think? Do you have a type?
I don't have a type.
You don't have a type?
No.
At all?
No.
There's not any
That's
physical...
always weird. No, I don't have a type.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't have a
I
type.
feel like I'm kind of the same way. I don't really have a type, but I kind of know what I like.
You know what, right? So there was like a time a couple of years ago, I think this is like probably 15 years ago. I asked Matt, I'm like, all right, so if you have this girl that has the nicest heart ever, caring, loving, and she's not fine as hell, like his type.
Yeah.
And then there's this other chick that's like so.
She was referring to her brother, and she asked her brother, if you met the other guy, who's the other lady who's not so beautiful, but character-wise is actually there, who would you pick? And the brother said, I'll pick the beautiful one. So the thing is, when you talk about a type, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with a type. A type is characterized by so many subcategories. The physical ones that you see from the height, beauty, and all. The character-wise, the religious-wise, the cultural-wise. There are so many things that are involved in a type. If you do not have a type, then you're going to have any type. And when you have any type, that's when the problem sets in. Because you're saying A and he's saying B. I'll let you listen once more.
The ability to work through issues.
Yeah.
I've never met another person that I connect with in conversation more blissfully and productively than Jada.
Hey beauties, thanks for being here. It's another hot topic today. And you know what? Many people always mistake these topics. They get it twisted. They kind of mix it all up. But it's just not confusing at all. There is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with having a type. The eyes feed first. What is that thing that is appealing to you? And then the characters come as second, as next. Something draws you to a person before you begin to exchange those words and all. Now, you know what that young man said? Even though the hot girl who's beautiful and all, even though her character is not everything, he would go for that girl. Now, that's where the point is. Why go for someone whose character you can't deal with? Now, let me remind you, please subscribe, like, and share the videos to encourage, especially the young ones that are still about to get into marriage, that still have the chance and are still in relationship. Or also the elderly ones who are still trying to decide, this is so important in all spheres of life. I'm going to give you a very short story. I had a girlfriend those days in school. Now her guy would come to visit her. She would just escape the room. Somehow she would just choose to all of a sudden go out to buy something. And she would just be hanging, monitoring until the girls will be keeping the guy coming, will just be all gisting. And then when she sees he's about leaving, she would come in and just, pretend to be around. And he would say he's going, and she was okay. And then afterwards, we'll tell her, come on, go see him off. And she would say, I can't. We'll say, how? She would say, I'm not comfortable with his presence. I'm not enjoying his look. It's not his fault, but he's just not my kind of person. And all that. And we'll say, come on, at least see him off. And we'll be laughing. We, the girls, will be laughing, And when they leave the room, she's seeing him off. We will be looking through the window and be laughing. Why? Because she will stand behind this guy, or she would be before the guy, but you will never see them like holding hands or just working together and gisting. Now, if you cannot communicate with your partner, then what are you going to talk about? Like, what are you even doing? Communication is a very vital key in any relationship. What do you guys talk about? Do you agree? Are you free? Now, I heard Nikki once say, I was never free with that her guy, Dan. That she was never free. She was never comfortable. She's always just taking the instructions, trying to please him and all, that she has never been herself. And that really caught my attention. So many ladies and so many perhaps men are in this kind of relationship. Why choose such when you see the signals from the beginning? Don't ignore it. These are part of the red flags that people talk about. you know. Then we said to her, call it off, girl. What are you doing? You don't like him, then tell him off now that it's not too late. And she said, I've told him, but he keeps believing he could work it out. He would make me happy, that he promised to make me happy. Now, another thing is the person you're promising to make happy, can she make you happy? It's not a one-way thing. Now, these are the things that people forget. I will make you happy. I'll give you heaven and earth. Will she make you happy? Because you think you can make her happy. And one thing you're forgetting is that you cannot make people happy except they choose to be happy through your actions. They're not happy because you choose to make them happy. They're happy because your actions, the steps you've taken to making them happy, is also pleasing to them. In other words, that means these steps might also be appalling to them. They might not like it.
We have this like nurturing motherly love that they lack in their life, and they think, oh, give me, and then we come and we're like, oh, have this, you want a snack, you want da. We just want to look after them all the time, and then out on to the next.
No, man, I still got
On to the
dated a guy that didn't have kids, broken guy, and I swear, he was like caring, he was nice, he was so sweet to my kids. Oh man. Yeah, but it's just, there's no way that I'm gonna date a broken guy again in that department again. Not
Yeah.
like that.
As single moms, you attract guys that need fixing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to fix nobody no more.
No, nobody has time for that.
Like, I'm coming as a whole person, and it took me a long ass time to come together and be whole. I need you to be whole too. Does that make sense?
So, you see what's going on? A lot of people have worked on themselves over the years, improved themselves in most possibly ways. And now they're coming into a relationship. They also have expectations. Now, there's nothing wrong with a type or preference one must have. If you cannot relate well with someone who's your best friend, whom you're in a relationship, in a courtship, in marriage with, then you have to seek for help, therapy together, so that you can voice out, you can communicate properly. Now, these are the things that obviously should have been there right from the beginning, like a prerequisite. You're coming to someone, how do we talk? You heard Will Smith saying it's the communication that is just the bound for us. That's actually what's holding us, so to speak. So you gotta communicate, you gotta let it all out. Sometimes you see some couples wondering, I don't even know what she wants. Maybe I get her this, but she complains. Listen, there's one thing about life. There are some people who are naturally not happy with themselves. And now you're coming to such a person and you're thinking, I could change her life, I could change her world. Beautiful if she falls in love with you and begin to brighten up because of what she feels for you. It's not because of what you're doing to make her happy. You can't make anybody happy who has not chosen to be happy. Happiness comes from within. I choose to be happy, and that's why I'm happy. Not because I have this, not because I have that. I chose to be happy. And that's how it is. You are two grown up, two adults. So it's not my responsibility, nor his or her responsibility to make you happy. You gotta make yourselves happy. And then as you continue to water that relationship, nurture it, it keeps blossoming. And then you have your whole lives rolling in a spiral of love, of joy, of peace, of happiness. Why? Because this happiness is already inborn in both of you. That's what you have to consider. Whom am I meeting? When we talk, what does she talk about? What does he talk about? What are his interests? Can we really, can we tie these knots together? Can we roll in these boats together? Can we pull something through together out of these whole things? I'm attracted to him physically. I'm attracted to him. We share the same faith. Beautiful. We share the same culture. But what about some characters that he has some traits? He's a die-hard smoker. Can I tolerate a smoker? You know, oh, okay, he's everything but a Muslim. I'm a Christian. Can I deal with a Muslim? His families, he's going to the mosque and I'm going to the can I really deal? We have to know these things and talk about it from the beginning.
Heal first. Get to know yourself. Reason being, so nobody can walk all over you. Honestly, if you get to know you, nobody would ever cross your line. And try to not have a type. Try to.
It's hard not to. You know what? There's a difference between having a preference and having like a strong, solid type. Like I will not veer away from that no matter what. Because you can have a preference. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I prefer like taller guys. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna stay with a guy just because he's tall. If he treats me like crap, I'm not gonna stick around just because he's tall.
Okay, now I love this. I love this guy. I totally love this. I'm not gonna stick around if the physical characteristics are there and the character wise, the features, the character wise are just not there. Then it's not gonna work. Because you're gonna have, like Nikki said, you're gonna have a tall guy because tallness is probably your type, and then the character is completely zero. He doesn't care about anyone except himself. He's so domineering. He's so a lot of ugly sides of character. He drinks, he smokes, he probably womanizes. Then it's zero. It's not gonna last. Or probably an abuser. Then it's just not gonna work. And if the character is there, and then the looks, they are there, but you realize the culture is not there, and the language is not there, the faith is not there, then it's your choice. But you know what? If the faith is there, the character is there, the faith is there, the character is there, the looks is there, but the language is not there, it still might not work, most likely. Because that character on its own is like 50%. What about those who's got all? There are lots of people who's got the character, they've got the faith, they've got the looks, and they've just got it all. The character, the faith, the looks, the culture. There are many. Who says you can get them? You can't get them, of course. You can't get them. There are many, they're there. So hold on to get exactly what you want. You see some guys trying to flaunt money at ladies, trying to win their hearts with money. It's not money. She might come in just for your money. But no one knows about tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow is not guaranteed. If that money leaves, then she might leave. And then you end up calling her a gold digger, but you saw the signs from the beginning that she just never wanted you for you. And you stuck out for it because you feel you could buy her over. Well, for the time being, you probably did buy her over, but it's only lasting as long as your pocket lasts. So wait for what you want. Search out for these things. Your soulmates, you can find them. You will find them. If only you can pay attention. I've seen Chinese marry African. The culture is there, the faith is there, the character is there. Maybe the looks isn't enough, but they could deal with it. Or probably the looks are also there and they're doing just fine. So, do I have a type? Leave me your comments in the comment section below. Do you have a type? And what's your type of guy or what's your type of woman? You can make all relationships work. You don't have to force it. You just have to be true to yourself. Let it go when it's not working. Work it out. Work it out when it's working. A bucket list of topic relationship.